Hey, how's it going, everybody? So, I want to take a second to recap what we looked at yesterday, starting with slide number 12. So, if we take a look, we were told that x is 12, x is 2, x equals 2. That is our input. So, our inputs are going to be blue. So, we're going to plug 2 in for x. See all three of the places where we're going to plug 2 in? Find out what f of 2 is equal to? Well, f of 2 equals 2 plus 3 over 2 times 2 minus 5. So, we take a look at that, and we try to solve. 2 plus 3 is 5. Again, this is all f of 2. And then on our numerator, we have 2 times 2, which is 4. 4 minus 5 is negative 1. So we end with 5 over negative 1. Any number divided by 1 is itself. So if we divide it by negative 1, we simply get that exact same number, but negative. So 5 divided by negative 1 is negative 5. So f of 2 is negative 5. Note that we took our inputs, we ran it through the machine, plugged it in everywhere it needed to be, and then what we got out of it was f of 2 equals negative 5. All right, guys, round 2. Are you ready? Let's take a look at slide 13. So, x equals a question mark. So we have the input, we don't know what it is. We don't. We have f of x equals the absolute value of x. We know that in the end, f of x should equal negative 3. F of x should equal negative 3. So I should plug a value in to x and get negative 3 out of it. But what's our function? Well, our function is green, right? Function is green. So if I take a look at that function, the function is just f of x is the absolute value of x. But the absolute value is just how far I am from 0, right? So if I got a number line, 0, the absolute value of 3 is the same as the absolute value of negative 3 because the distance between the points from 0 is just 3. So can I ever have an absolute value that's negative 3? See, that's the trick. There is no input at all that would give me this output. The output negative 3 does not exist for the function f of x equals the absolute value of x. So, what you should have said is, there's no way this works. When you explain it, you can never get a negative output from an absolute value function. Unless, of course, we were to make it f of x equals negative absolute value of x. In which case, we could have plugged in 3 or negative 3. Because the absolute value of 3 is 3, negative 3 is negative 3. Or the absolute value of negative 3 is 3, multiplied by negative 1, and you also get negative 3. But, since that isn't a thing, it just doesn't work. All right, so Mr. Hill's coming at you with the third function today. All right? Our input in blue, x is negative 4. Our function in green, f of x, equals the absolute value of x minus 2. I want to know what f of x equals. So again, our inputs are blue, right? So we're going to substitute negative 4 in for x. So, f of negative 4 equals the absolute value, negative 4, minus 2. Now I'm going to channel my inner Dora the Explorer, or Go Diego Go, but what is the absolute value of negative 4? That's right. It's just 4. The absolute value of negative 4 is 4. So, f of negative 4 equals 4 minus 2. Now, What's 4 minus 2? You got me. It's just 2. So f of negative 4 equals 2. So our f of x is 2. Now, what you should do is in the text box provided, tell me one thing that all of this helped you clear up before we dive in to today's lesson.